All right, folks, many of you probably recall when MoneyGram ended their partnership with Ripple, they chose Stellar, and then everybody and their brother had to let us know this was proof of Ripple's failed partnerships. Nobody's ever going to use the XRPL, and you guys know the rest of the story. But today we have Stellar partner IBM actually choosing Metaco for their institutional grade custody and other technology solutions. So we got to remind everyone that there is still development taking place on the XRP ledger, that we still have Ripple getting new partners. And as we've shown here, after Ripple acquired Metaco, they have just been lining up one partner after another. Now, we see here today that Bitcoin has pumped back up to about 44,500. I'm going to start off by showing you guys the charts, but a quick programming alert as we get this episode started. Tonight at 5 p.m. Pacific, that's going to be 8 o'clock on the East Coast, we're going to be playing a video, Credify Unlocking Utility on the XRPL. And this is going to be an interview that I just recorded this morning with Credify, the CEO and founder, Evo. And so that's going to be airing tonight at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Can't wait to see you guys there. The live premiere is going to be a lot of fun. Now, of course, the Bitcoin bros do what they do best. And I wake up this morning to tweet saying that Bitcoin went to 45,000. That's not the case. Depending on what exchange you went to, I guess maybe it got a little bit closer than over here on this Qcoin chart, but I mean, 44,500 is a long way from 45, but who knows, maybe later today we'll end up hitting that 45,000. Nonetheless, Bitcoin rally has been so strong along with Ethereum, back up to about 2,300. Now it's at 2,277, and our XRP, boy, this one's frustrating a lot of people as it just chops sideways here. You see this thing just chopping sideways. And now on Monday, we did get that dip down to about 58 cents here on this chart. 58 to 59 cents is where it went down to on most charts. And so if you're able to grab that dip, that was a nice little opportunity. We see XLM doing the same thing, right in tandem with XRP. And once again, silver and gold have both corrected off of the most recent highs that they just hit. It was about $26 per ounce for silver, and it was $2,150 for our gold. But it has cooled off here down to $2,027 per ounce right now. So a little bit of an opportunity here. And guys, I mean, these opportunities are only going to last so much longer before this thing wraps up. Now, in regards to buying the dip and taking advantage of the opportunity, the central banks have absolutely been doing that. We see that they added 42 tons of gold in October, and this is just to the official gold reserves that they are reporting. So this doesn't include the other exposure, the other hidden accounts, the other hidden vaults that they also got. But let's get right on into it, guys. So when we look at the cryptocurrency space, over the last year, the crypto markets have seen the collapse of FTX, the largest fraud in recent history. Well, we got to look at ETHgate, don't we? On a relative basis, ETHgate might surpass FTX. The collapse of the regional banking system, along with a $2 trillion bear market, its largest in history, with over 500 lawsuits and regulation cases, with multiple crypto lenders going bankrupt, and Binance being fined a record $4.3 billion by U.S. regulators. This has increased calls for regulations around the globe, yet Bitcoin is up 160% this year and just hit 43,000. Now, this was shared yesterday, so as of today, we have actually hit 44,500, and the market does remain incredibly resilient. Now, as I was saying, the Bitcoin bros were reporting this morning that Bitcoin hit 45,000. I don't know what chart they were looking at, but nonetheless, that doesn't stop them from spreading these things. And the current rumor that we have right now from Luke Broyles is going around that Qatar's sovereign wealth fund wants to have a $500 billion allocation to Bitcoin. Now, this cannot be confirmed. I don't know if there's any validity to this, but I will say this. It is my speculation and humble opinion that there are sovereign wealth funds that are looking to get exposure to digital assets. What do the Bitcoin bros do best? They act like Bitcoin's the only investment that these sovereign wealth funds, that these banks, institutions are going to be interested in, that high net worth individuals are going to be interested in, right? And when you listen to the Bitcoin maxis, they want to distinguish Bitcoin from the rest of the space. Well, I mean, we can distinguish it from the rest of the space based off of a coin with no utility, right? Even Ethereum has some utility. Avalanche, Polygon, you name it, Cardano, they have some utility. They're not just a store of value. So in that regard, it does distinguish itself as having no utility. Other than that, though, what's the play for Bitcoin? Well, to sell it to someone more dumb than you, and they're begging for the big banks. It's so funny because they wanted to get rid of the banks, right? That's the whole Bitcoin program. Yet now they're begging for the big boys and girls from the banks to buy up their bag. So I always find that funny. Now, another indicator that I'm going to be adding to my technical analysis is apparently going to be watching for CZ to tweet out here. Take a look at this chart here. I found this one shared by Bare Naked Crypto. He says, I'll just leave this here. And we're looking at a chart coinciding with CZ dropping some tweets. Now, these are tweets that just say, good morning to the holders, good morning, logged into my Threads account, yeah. So whenever CZ's putting out the good morning tweet, it might be time to watch out, because we look at all these red markers are where he put these tweets in right before massive pumps. And so we're going to have to watch this one. CZ doing what he does best, manipulating this thing, one of the market maker magicians behind the scenes. And this is what I want to see get cleaned out. If Binance can cut a check for $4 billion, come into compliance and survive, that's great. I don't have any problem with these exchanges. I mean, other than, the manipulation and the shadow trading that they've been doing, that I have a problem with. But it's not that I want to see Bitcoin go down. It's not that I want to see Ethereum go down or Tether go down. I just want to see them be backed. I want to see what their reserves are. I want to see them come into compliance, work with the regulators to do things the proper way, just like Ripple did, right? But hey, if the Bitcoin bros want to have themselves a rally based off of more speculation, more stablecoin printing, well, that's only going to get you so far. What I'm interested in is how far is the real utility going to take us, and that real utility is what is coming to the XRPL. Take a look at this one right here. Now, this started off by Bill Morgan talking about the release of the escrow each month, giving XRP an inflation rate of about 6% per year. It is comparable to Solana's current inflation rate, and Solana has been pumping like crazy the last few months. And Mr. Huber responds, he says, there's no incentive to hold the tokens. They neither generate yield, nor do they give us rights. Unlike Bitcoin, XRP is suitable as a means of payment, buy and sell quickly. And this is not criticism by any means, quite the opposite. Well, that was the case before we got utility. Now we are getting a massive amount of utility, and you're looking at, utility like the AMM coming in. And Crippen Rider says this, 100% correct, which is why AMM is such a hot topic in the XRPL ecosystem, because it enables a new term, storage demand, as Mr. Fresh calls it, which is an excellent term. We're going to be providing greater liquidity, more payments, and more than just speculation. And when you look down here, Panos adds, he says the AMM, the EVM sidechain, which I've been talking a lot about that one. You got hooks, you got FXRP, which is on Flare. Lots of ways to generate yield and incentives to hold XRP from 2024 and beyond. So it is coming. And it's, interesting. I was in a Twitter space last night with some of the developers, and we were having a great conversation. And the thing that I'm seeing right now with the XRPL, it is frustrating because we're late to having NFTs. We're late to having an AMM. But when we get it, it works. It's not a vulnerability. It doesn't get hacked. It doesn't cause our network to go down. And this is what we want, right? Utility that is sustainable. It's just like I was referencing, the Bitcoin pump. Bitcoin has done what it's done based off of speculation and stablecoins. Plain and simple. Add in a little bit of manipulation, and that's what achieved 69,000. What we're looking at here, though, is real utility that is sustainable, value that is going to get parked and settled on the ledger, that is valued in the trillions of dollars. It's going to make what Bitcoin's accomplished so far look like a drop in the bucket. And you accomplish that through an AMM, sidechains, hooks, being able to have additional incentives to hold and use the cryptocurrency technology, compared to a Bitcoin that, you can hold and pray, but that's about the only utility you're going to get out of it. Now, speaking of holding, we've seen additional partnerships being announced by Metaco. As I titled this session here tonight, stellar partner IBM. And the reason why I highlight that is because everybody wanted to make fun of us in the XRP community. Everybody wanted to trash on Ripple and XRP because MoneyGram abandoned XRP and Ripple, and they chose Stellar going forward. And I've always been of the opinion that at any point in time, MoneyGram can just flip that switch back on and start using XRP ODL. I don't think that'll be any sort of issue if they choose to use the XRPL going forward, and I imagine they will. But I wanted to highlight, you have IBM, which is already partnered with Stellar, but now they have decided to work with Metaco to help build the Hyper Protect offline signing orchestrator. Now, this is a new technology to deploy cold storage for digital assets, which addresses the requirements of top-tier banks and financial institutions. How do you get the big boy and girl money into this space? You need to be able to comply with the requirements of these banks and financial institutions, and the custody solutions have to be there as well. Yes, we can send a cheap, efficient payment using the XRPL. Yes, the AMM is going to make the DEX even more efficient. Yes, we can put an NFT here, but how do we custody it? How do we build a Hyper Protect offline signing orchestrator, which is what Metaco and IBM are working on right now? So another massive announcement partnership for Metaco. Once again, Ripple acquiring Metaco has not slowed them down one bit. It's only accelerated the adoptions and partnerships that they've been announcing. Now, a quick check on the central bank digital currency projects from Wrath Economy. We have Palau, Colombia, Montenegro, Georgia. But what happened to Ripple's work with Bhutan? Has the plan changed? Well, not according to the central bank. Expect the pilot to roll out in a year or so as planned. So many folks losing patience, taking their eyes off the prize, and they're focusing on price action today. And this creates recency bias. And what recency bias is that you're looking at today's events and you forget what future outcomes are, potentials that we need to be considering. And we're taking a look at these CBDC pilots and projects. They're all getting delayed. They're all getting pushed out. Palau completed their first phase. They're looking at their next. And by the way, it was completely successful. It was a huge success. And many of these partnerships with Ripple and the CBDCs are just working flawlessly. Now, when you look at this one here with Bhutan, they're not getting ready to do this thing until 2024 through 2026, right? So they're still carry out CBDC design and scoping, then carry out technical design and proof of concept. This is all going on through this year. And then by next year, pilot implementation is going to be going live. And so you can see between now and 2030 is the time frame where all of this gets rolled out, tested, trialed, and then actually gets implemented with the real deal later on, probably 2025 and beyond. Now, do not sit here for 1 second and think that we aren't going to get price action between now and then. We most definitely will. When that utility comes in 2025, 2026, all the way out till 2030, that's just going to be adding on to what is already coming to the XRPL. And it's going to be adding on to the price action that we've already got for XRP. So let's just throw out some simple numbers. Maybe what we get this bull run takes XRP to 10 or 20 bucks. Let's have some fun, right? But then we come back down, we settle at $5. Well, that's where we're going to be taking off. That's going to be our launch pad for the utility and the adoption and the coming bull run out towards 2025 and beyond, right? We'll achieve something great. We're still going to have plenty of speculation this bull run. It takes us to 10, 20 bucks, but then we come back down to 5. That's fine. From there, we build a new launch pad that takes us into the utility bull run out until 2030. And that's where we get to achieve double digits and beyond, well beyond, in my opinion. Now, when we see all these deals, it's all happening. It's all happening slow. The price action is not reflecting any of the great announcements, the developments, and the projects that are coming to the XRPL, but that will be coming, without a doubt. I think that folks forget that during the 2017-2018 bull run, XRP pumped last and it pumped the hardest. So you can't forget that. And in regards to unlocking utility, as I said, I'm going to be airing the interview that I just conducted with Credify. They are another company that chose the XRPL. And it was interesting, speaking with Evo. So Ripple did give them a grant, but he highlighted the fact that they chose to accept the grant from Ripple when they had a bunch of other projects that were trying to give them money too. So it was, in fact, Credify choosing the XRPL, choosing to accept the grant from Ripple, while turning down grants from other ecosystems and projects because the XRPL and what Ripple was doing aligned with their mission, their goals, and their objectives. So this is part of a new trend of legitimate businesses and institutions that are going to be choosing the XRPL for their utility. This is going to affect the underlying asset XRP, and we can speculate till the sun comes up tomorrow on how high XRP is going to go, but this is the type of utility that we want to see. And so if you're interested in this interview, it's going to be airing tonight, once again, at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss that. Make sure you mark your calendars, and we will see you in the premiere of that interview airing tonight. I appreciate everyone for stopping by. Make sure you like this video on the way out, and everything else can be found on my website, zachrector.com. I'll see you guys in the next one. God bless you all. Thank you so much.